everybody, and welcome to Mystical Awakenings, right here on KGRA, the best, absolutely best place on the web. Really happy to be here tonight. RJ is not with me. He's under the weather, has some things going on. So just, keep him in your thoughts. But I'm excited that we have an amazing guest tonight. She's been with us before. It's been probably a year or so, but she is not only a friend, but is in the same circle that we're in. She's an author, freelance journalist, researcher, and explorer. She had her first paranormal experience when she was very young, and it made her realize that she had a unique sixth sense and was able to communicate with those on the other side. Her passion for the haunted location afforded her the opportunity to appear and consult in Chris Halton's documentary, A Haunting at Bachelors Grove, one of the most haunted cemeteries in the Midwest. She's an experiencer, yes, a member of MUFON and CE5. She incorporated her Native heritage, serving as a Native consultant for Thomas Conwell's books. They Are Here. He's another one that we love. Central U.S. UFOs and Earthquakes and UFOs. Cheryl's an international author of 8 books, including Chosen, Dimensions, Mysterious Triangles of the U.S., and co-author of Digging into Skinwalker Ranch and Skinwalker Ranch, the Basin Files. So if you could all welcome Cheryl Carter, we would be very, very happy. So Cheryl, welcome. It's so good to see you again. It's great to have you on again.
Good to be back again, yeah.
How are you holding up with this beautiful winter that we're having here?
I'm writing to occupy my mind.
There you go. Yeah, we only had a moment to talk about your newest book coming out. I don't know if you want to talk about that or not. I didn't even know about this one.
Well, we could. It's just starting. It's not really. Yeah, it's going to be called Celestial Code, and it's about ancient megalithic sites and their map to the stars. Because many sites, I think people have probably seen when they watch Ancient Aliens, that Giorgio talks about it, that there's just certain star systems that all the ancient cultures revered as something very important. All the star systems, and it was Pleiades, Orion, and Arcturus. And you can even see a mention of this in the Bible.
Thank you for bringing that up. That's amazing. I'm excited to, when does that come out? Because I'm excited to read it.
Oh, a few months. I'm still working on it.
Yeah, it'll be a while.
I got the cover, but I don't have the book.
And I'm sure you're not quite ready to show that cover off yet.
That's so cool. It's such a cool cover.
If you want to show it, I mean, if you have it available to show, that would be awesome.
Can you see it on my phone? I don't know.
I don't know. Give it a try.
Let's see here.
We can do anything here. Oh, nope, you have to. Oh, nope, it keeps blanking out with the background.
You see it there?
It's really hard to see. Maybe if you hold it right up to the camera. Nope, that doesn't work either. Oh.
No. Oh, well.
Okay. No.
Oh, well.
We'll have to remember that next time. Send it to Bill and you can put it up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the same person that did my Dimensions cover.
Really?
He's so good.
Yeah, that's an awesome cover.
Do you know Scotty Roberts?
I don't. I haven't met him. I mean, I've seen some of his work, but I'd love to meet him sometime.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Your covers are fantastic. Well, I'd like to make a little announcement while I have you here. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows we have the Michigan UFO Contact coming up in September. And Cheryl was with us as a speaker 2 years ago, I believe it was. And I just love her to pieces. So, surprise and congrats, Cheryl, and congrats to us, because you're coming back as a speaker. this year for 25 with UFO contact. So welcome back. We're very excited about that. So everybody that wants to see her and hear her speak and buy her books can come get them signed right there. And I know we have some attendees who are listening tonight, so they're excited too.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for that, Cheryl. Looking forward to seeing what you're going to speak about this year.
I'm going to talk about my chosen book.
You know, we talked about that too. It's in my cart on Amazon. It looks like a fantastic book. Can you tell us a little bit about how did you decide to write this book? Because it seems a little bit different for you.
I was in the book that I'm doing now. I was in the middle of writing that book last year, and I woke up one morning and something said, "No, you have to write about this." I don't know where it came from. I woke up and somebody said, "You have to write about this," and I wrote it really fast. Wow. It's just you read all these books and hear stories and YouTube videos about people that have encountered a UFO and maybe they were abducted or something, and then you think life goes on as usual, but it doesn't. It doesn't. And I wanted people to know what happens during their experience, because you just hear, oh, they were abducted. I want you to know their feelings, what happens after. And I've got hypnotic regressions of people after things happen. It's very personal.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm with you on that. You know, many people don't have a clue. In fact, I remember being one of those people. What it's like and the trauma that it can cause. You know, and it doesn't seem to matter if it's a pleasant experience or unpleasant experience or what really does happen during that time. It can be very traumatic. So, but I saw Travis Walton years ago.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him, and he was in tears talking about his experience.
And he never changes his story.
No, he doesn't. And I just love Travis. I love him to pieces. But I remember thinking, you know, it's been so many years. Why is he still emotional? I didn't get it.
Yeah, when I saw him now. I saw him 2 years ago speak. Yes, same way. I said he never changes.
Yeah. Now I get it because I've been there myself.
It changes you.
It does. It alters your entire life. So, you know, thank you for writing that book. It seems quite in depth with what goes on. So, you know, thank you for that. As an experiencer myself, I think it's important that all of that comes out. We all need to know that we're not alone in this. We're not alone in the universe, but we're not alone.
And, you know, and some people say, oh, they made it all up, you know. So my first story that I put in the book is about the aerial school in Zimbabwe. I don't know if you ever heard of that encounter.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that encounter, but feel free to talk about it if you
there was
share a little bit.
Right, there was a school there, and it was like from first grade to 8th grade. So you got children here, and they're out in the schoolyard at lunchtime, and all of a sudden they see this craft land in the field next to their school, and these little figures get out, and the figures floated across the schoolyard to the children, and they start speaking to them telepathically. Now, children don't make stories up like that, you know, and they didn't know what UFOs were and all that.
Right.
And they went back to the school and telling the teachers, and teachers came out, and it was gone now. They don't believe them. They go, you just made it up. Yeah. You know, and then some of them went home, and their parents didn't believe them either. Now, here you are, a kid that saw this crazy stuff. And these creatures were showing you things that you don't understand.
Right. Yeah. It's amazing how many stories around the world correlate with one another.
And then it was like they had a professor come out from Harvard that was interested in this kind of stuff, and he had all the children draw a picture of what they saw that day. Now they separated them all so nobody was talking, and they all had very similar pictures.
Yeah.
And I remember there was one girl, her name was Emily Trim. And like I said, people said, well, life goes on as usual, but not when you're a child, especially. And she decided that the only way she could deal with this was she was a painter,
Mm-hmm.
did all kinds of painting. And her famous painting was a picture of a little girl with a zipper on her mouth because she couldn't speak of this. And I had to go everywhere searching for that picture for my book. I had to have that picture.
Yeah, and isn't that so sad?
And so then she finally got somebody to take her around on a tour to speak about this. And I remember watching a video, and she says, I'm so glad that he got me to do this and I could share with other people. She says, now the little girl doesn't have a zipper on her mouth anymore. I had to have that picture for my book.
Yeah. That's very heartwarming.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, it does break my heart that especially young people have to go through this and feel like they can't talk to anybody. And many of us, you included, Cheryl, that's kind of our goal, is to make it more normal, make it so it's not something that people cannot talk about.
I mean, these
UFO
children
comments.
really didn't, they're in the middle of Africa. They really didn't know about this stuff like other people in the world would know.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the little kids, because of their heritage there, they thought it was this creature that comes to you in the middle of the night and eats your brain.
Oh.
So there were just so many different kids all mixed up. What did I see? What did I see?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How horrible. So speaking of kids, when was your first either experience or first thought of being involved in this?
Probably, I'd say good 10 years ago.
Okay, so you were an adult.
Yeah.
Okay. And what happened to make you, because you seem, I connect with that whole, and don't take this wrong, but the obsession to get the word out. So what happened to do that for you, Cheryl?
I was just driving down the street, and it's a beautiful blue sky. There's no clouds. And all of a sudden, the sky ripped open. It just ripped open, and this silver disc-shaped craft came out. And I couldn't take my eyes off it. I don't know how long I was watching this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like everything around me just stopped. And I go, does nobody else see this? Maybe I was the only one that saw it. Maybe I wasn't supposed to see it. I don't know. And then it went right back into that hole, and the sky just sealed up. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Wow. So did you go through maybe I'm crazy, maybe I didn't really see that? Maybe there's an explanation.
But I couldn't believe the sky ripped open like it did.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I know a lot of people, second guess after seeing something. I know I have. You see something and try to explain it away and say, maybe that was all in my head. Maybe it wasn't really there.
Well, I've seen some other things too. I've seen, I call it a light rod, but it wasn't solid. It was like a big ray of light in the sky. And I'm looking at it, and the sun was behind me. So I said, what? It's just a light rod. And as I'm watching, it started rotating to the 3 o'clock position. And I said, what? And I'm driving to work, and I didn't want to be late, so I didn't stop and take a picture. But I'm watching it for a couple of minutes, and then it rotated back to 12 o'clock, and then it turned off. Like, what the heck was that? So then
Right.
another day I'm driving, and this was the same area, and there was that light rod again. And over on the other side of the road, another one turned on. And the one on the left side divided into two, and then the second one and the one on my side started going to the 3 o'clock position.
Mm-hmm.
Then they went back to 12, and all the lights turned off. I don't know what those are.
That's wild. That's wild. And that was right here in Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to give location, but it seems like, to me, there's parts of Michigan all over
Now it's
that
going
are
down 8
little
miles.
hot spots.
Now it's going down 8
Really?
to St. Clair Shores.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Wow. Yeah, and that area does seem to have a lot of activity, doesn't it?
People go, "Oh, it's a light rod." I says, "No, it wasn't solid. It was light.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. It was a glowing light, but
Mm-hmm.
it was
Yeah.
in that shape."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And why it rotated, I don't understand.
Right. Interesting. So were you ever able to get, and I know how that goes, you just think later, get photos or anything?
A third time I did see it, and I kind of got a photo on my phone because I was driving. I stopped at the stoplight, but I says, never again. I don't care where I'm going. If I see something, I'm stopping and pulling over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a picture of the last time. Yeah.
Nice, nice. It's too often that things like that happen, and by the time our brain is ready to go, I need to do something. It's
And I've
already
showed it
over.
to people at the MUFON meeting. They don't know what it is.
Right. Well, and that certainly makes UFO because it's unidentified. You can't,
Yeah.
but when something isn't of, isn't man-made or of the
Oh
earth,
yeah.
we have to wonder.
So I kept looking. I go, what could be making this light? But there was nothing.
Mm-hmm. So were you involved with MUFON at that time, or is that kind of what
Yeah.
got you into?
No, I was. Yeah.
Okay.
I got involved with MUFON after that first time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that too. And thank goodness, because it does help. I mean, you almost have to have something solid to hold on to.
Mm-hmm.
And for us that can sometimes be MUFON or Bill, to tell us that yes, we are crazy, but we did see what we saw.
Yeah.
So when you were younger, did many people have memory later after they've obviously witnessed something, they have memories, start having memories of when they were younger. So did anything ever happen to you that might indicate you had some contact, or you might did you have an interest at all in otherworldly beings?
My first contact was always with spirits
Mm-hmm.
because of my abilities. So when I was age 4, they started talking to me and stuff. And I don't remember. I just remember my father came home from work, and he brought some. What's the magazine? Science and Mechanics magazine. Brought him home, and in the back they had stories about UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
So I was maybe 11 or 12 when I started reading that. I go, yeah, this is pretty cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that was kind of your interest, but you haven't had memories of things that happened.
No, just spirits. No, just like spirit stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and that's I know that you were born into your abilities, and oftentimes, as you know, people with abilities, it kind of goes hand in hand, doesn't it? It seems like.
I'd say 2 years ago, I had something very strange happen to me, and I don't know who was communicating with me. I was writing a book about Skinwalker Ranch, and I remote viewed there. And you know how they say if you go there, something follows you home.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wasn't physically there, but part of me was there, I guess, and something did follow me home. And I'm sitting there one day, and all of a sudden, something started downloading code into my head.
Really?
And I'm going, no, stop. I don't understand. And the voice said, it's okay. And it's all this, ones and zeros. And I saw some twos and numbers, and I don't know what it was. It's going so fast. I tried writing it down, but I can't write it down. And I says, what is this? And I thought, well, you'll understand when you get here. Okay. And what I saw, I thought it was a shadow figure next to me, but then I realized it was something standing in the shadows. And it had olive-shaped eyes.
Oh, dear.
And I felt that it was interdimensional, but it was from the ranch. Because I do believe there's all kinds of things happening there. So,
So at the ranch, I know they have tons of sky videos, UFOs, UAPs. There's always different activity. But they also have a lot of, it seems to me, what I've seen and read, a lot of interdimensional.
That's what I see. I see, when I remote viewed, I see there's like two dimensions and they're bumping into each other. That's what's causing a lot of interference with their equipment, I think.
Yeah, it gets pretty wild there, doesn't it? So you haven't physically gone there?
Not yet.
Not yet. I like that.
Soon, I think.
Yeah. Oh, good. Good. Yeah, who wouldn't want to? Maybe not somebody that's not interested in any of this, but someone like us.
Well, and I want to know more about what this code is about, why I have this.
So did you end up able to document this code at all?
I tried, no. I close my eyes and I can see it, but I try to write it down and I can't. Maybe I'm not supposed to.
So what about, doing a regression or something? Have you tried that?
No, not yet. No.
Yeah,
but also after this happened, it was 2 years ago. I went to Phenomicon in Utah, and my friend took me up to the ranch gates, and we got out, and that same voice said, "Pick up that rock." And I started laughing, and my friend said, "What's so funny?" I was the code voice said, "Pick up that rock," and we're on a gravel road, right? I pick up that rock. So I'm looking around, it's just all chunky gravel, and I saw this oval-shaped rock. It was flat, oval-shaped. Well, that's kind of cool. So I picked it up, and the voice said, "Not that one." I go, "Okay." Okay. So I put it in my pocket. I said, "I'll give it to a friend." So then I found another one. So I picked that one up, and it goes, "That one." The thing started vibrating in my hand.
Ooh.
And the voice said, "The code has been activated." So I still don't know what this code is.
Oh my gosh.
So when I got home, I put it out on my driveway, and I got the tri-field meter. I don't know why. And it registers a 4.
Really?
It's a rock. So the last time I saw Eric Bard, I'm telling him about my rock and the tri-field. He reaches into his little briefcase he carries with him and pulls out his tri-field because, he always just carries that around with him.
He would.
And we put it on the coffee table, and he got his meter out, and it registered a 4. And I says, "Okay." I says, "What do you think?" "Well, it's interesting." I said, "That's all you have to say?" I says, "Well, what do you think it is?" He goes, "I don't know."
Eric's so calm and cool, though. He could be like super excited.
Fascinated. He goes, "This is a really cool rock." I go, "Yeah."
So, do you know what type of rock it is, or?
That's why I thought maybe he would know, and he didn't know. And I wonder if they can. Isn't there a machine that they can put it in and see the properties? I don't want to break it or anything. I don't think they would like me to break the rock.
Right. I would certainly want to look into that to find out. So you still have the rock?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can't not have it.
Right. Yeah, but I'm really curious. I would love to see that rock.
So it's got like little red speckles in it, dark red, like like, this is funny. And Eric goes, like garnet. It looks like garnet. And then he says, where did that word come from? I never say garnet. And I said, like my ring. You have a garnet ring? I said, yeah, I guess it goes with my garnet rock. I don't.
Wow. Wow. So is there a way that you could safely bring that rock to Michigan UFO Contact?
Yeah. I just wish they had one of those machines that like Oak Island has where they can, I forget what you call it.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. But I would certainly want to keep it in some sort of a case or something. So
I do. Yeah.
nothing happens to it.
Don't want to lose it.
Right,
And I don't just let everybody touch it either, because
no,
they wouldn't want everybody touching the rock.
no. And I would personally be leery of touching it myself, because you don't know. I mean, it's kind of special and sacred, and you don't know why it reads at a 4. So
last year I went to Brandon Fugel's office and I says, let me put this rock in your hand.
what? How did he react?
It vibrated in his hand too.
Oh, good. So did he have anything to say about it?
All he said was, you think there's more rocks like this on the ranch? And I said, well,
I would be looking.
I says, possible. I said, but I would have to get there to see him. Well, you have to come then. So
there you go. You've had your invite from Brandon, so time to go. And if you need a friend, give me a call. Geez. So I wonder, how would they feel? I mean, that wasn't right on the ranch, right? That was near it.
It was the road going right into the gates there.
So, I know some places are supposed to be sacred. You're never supposed to take a rock or take anything.
Well, you can pick up rocks. They don't care. People.
But I was wondering how they feel about people coming in there and taking a rock. But
I don't think most people pick something up because they'd be afraid to take it home with them.
Right.
And besides, I said it's just a gravel road with little chunky pieces. This was just really standing out. Like, why is this rock here?
Yeah. So while you were, while you were there, were you able to do, even outside of the ranch, any investigating or setting up cameras, anything?
I didn't have equipment at that time, but last year my friend and I did some sky watching out there by the stop sign. And it was kind of cool because it was just really dark, and I had my camera out and everything. And my friend says, do you think you can get a picture of the Big Dipper? Look at it, it's almost touching the top of the mesa. I go, well, I could try, but it's really tricky to take pictures of stars. I'm not really good at that. So I says, okay. So I start taking a couple of pictures, and I'm looking in the viewfinder going, oh my gosh. She goes, what? I go, the sky, it's blue and green and purple and pink.
Oh, wow.
You could not see it with your eyes. So I took a bunch of pictures. And of course, when you look in the camera, they were dark. I said, I got to go home on my computer and lighten them up a little bit. Oh, yeah, it was the Northern Lights.
Oh, nice.
With the big, and I did get that Big Dipper in there.
Oh, beautiful.
So
keep going.
Yeah, didn't see any UFOs. We were looking.
So you in your bio, it says that you do UFO or do CE5 work, or do you attend CE5 groups?
I did, yeah.
Tell us about that.
It's a little group here in Michigan that, we get together, and it's over in Brighton. Then we do sky watches out there. Like one time, one of my favorite times, it's in a soccer field. It's a concave soccer field, and on the west side there's a woods. Now I've been in those woods in the daytime. There's nothing in those woods. So we're in a circle, and my chair is facing the woods, and all of a sudden the guy next to us, he's doing singing bowls. You know what happens when you singing bowls attract things.
Yeah.
And I saw like somebody turned 2 flashlights on, and they were real big lights. And we were so far away, they had to be basketball size because they were big.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at them, and all of a sudden they're bouncing around. They're changing places, like they're dancing to the singing bowls. The one was stretching up and down and just changing places. And I got pictures. I don't know why I didn't think about video, but I got lots of pictures.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going, everybody, look, look. And they looked over there and they go, I said, nothing's happening in the sky. It's happening right there. I don't know what it was,
Right, right.
So 2 of us are watching. And as soon as he quit playing the singing bowls, like somebody just turned the lights off.
Yeah.
So that's
I
kind of
love playing singing bowls. We do it, C5 work, any type of, even when we go out looking for Bigfoot, because everything's attracted to it. But it's sound and vibration, frequency and vibration. And, it does alter the existence. Oftentimes, it does bring things in.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Was it elementals? I have no idea what it was.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool, though. But
yeah, I would think even elementals would be drawn, because it's, I think so. So, yeah, if you ever put on your own CE5, I mean, you do it with a small group, and that's amazing. Mm-hmm. But if you were ever going to do like a public one, would you want big groups, small groups? How would you?
I like small groups because we usually do about 10 or 12. When the groups get too big, it happens to the energy.
Mm-hmm.
There's this one time there were just people there that wanted to be entertained. Show us the UFO. No, that's not how it works.
Right.
Or they were talking the whole time. You're not supposed to talk. You're supposed to be quiet on that. So it's, you got to keep the group small and kind of keep like-minded people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love CE5 work. We've done some, and of course we do it at the UFO con. Did you come outside the year you were there and participate in that? I thought you did.
Mm-hmm. That's what I want to do. I want to go outside a lot and see.
Oh yeah.
So we can
see. We actually live like a block off of Halton Lake, and I can tell you this area is very active. And it's not unusual to see things over the lake, especially if you have an open mind and open heart. They seem to know when to draw.
Sit there a while. You can't sit there 10 minutes and go, come on.
No. I mean, sometimes you can, but you have to be willing to be patient. Yeah, absolutely. So what is your year looking like, Cheryl? Do you have a lot of things going on? Are you doing?
I don't have a lot of stuff planned. So far, I'm just getting this book going.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So other than the Michigan UFO Contact, you don't have events lined up that
not yet
you'll be going to? Okay.
I have 2 that I might go to one of them. I'm trying to find out how they coordinate because they're different times.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I know. I think it was last year. You just seemed like you were always on the move.
I know.
Might have been the year before.
You're just driving too much. That's just,
Right.
Yeah, I went to Florida last year at this time.
You should have saved it for this year, right?
Well, I was only there like a weekend.
Oh.
But I was invited. They wanted a medium to go with them, and I didn't know what was going on. Here, I realized they were looking for Bigfoot.
So did they have any experiences?
They had these guys. I could tell these guys are not regular investigators. I brought my bag of equipment and stuff. They had recorders out every place. So we got to stay at this couple's house. What a beautiful house. They put us all up in their house and fed us every day and stuff. We're investigating their property because she actually has Bigfoot casts. So we know there's Bigfoot there. And so that they had the recorders out, and the one guys were listening to him in the morning. He goes, listen, somebody hear those footsteps? You could hear footsteps walking around. And then it would stop. He goes, they're walking around my truck. I had that on top of my truck, and you could hear them walking around and coming back. And then he goes, looks at the number. He goes, no, that wasn't on my truck. That was down in the clearing down there. And I said, did you have a trail cam? Was there a trail cam down there? No, we don't have cameras.
Oh, geez.
You know it was walking around down there. They had absolutely no cameras. They only had recorders.
Oh, no.
Like, oh my gosh, guys.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what we have found, and this has happened more than once. We'll set trail cams up and then grab them the next day thinking, oh man, this happened. And they're blank. I mean, like nothing, like something walked up and turned them off. It's a little bit crazy.
Did you watch Expedition Bigfoot last night?
I did.
Because
I certainly did.
Russ realized that maybe the IR light on the camera, that Bigfoot noticed that, and it would turn the camera off or walk away from it.
Yep.
That was interesting.
Yeah. Well, they've had the same thing happen on some of their expeditions where the cameras have been turned off. Yeah. Or I remember one, it was thrown in the water. Do you remember that one?
Yeah. So last night he goes, I think it sees the IR light.
They're very intelligent beings. So I'm going to ask you, what is your theory? What is the connection between UFOs and Bigfoot?
I don't think there is one. I think it's just a coincidence that these things happen in the same area because it's a strange area.
Oh, okay.
Because I've got a friend that lives in New Mexico, and that he's like in the middle of nowhere, and there's a family unit that he watches all the time. And he's very interesting to listen to because he describes how he collects their scat. And the reason he does that is to see what kind of food they eat. And he said they don't stay in one place. They travel 100 miles back and forth because you could see, well, this food was here. This food was. That's why you don't see them all the time, because they travel back and forth for food. But it's a family unit, male, female, and young ones. Yeah. It's interesting.
And I think that might be what they're dealing with on Expedition Bigfoot right now as well. So your feelings are that these are more animals than
like an animal, close to human. Yeah, close to human though.
Okay, so like a primate.
Yeah, could be. Okay. Yeah, but very, very intelligent, like human.
Yeah, they are very intelligent.
Could be just a species that has been hidden from us.
Yeah, they seem to kind of outthink humans.
But I do think that they're able to cloak and disappear in front of your eyes.
Yeah, and that makes me wonder: are they really a physical being? Are they truly an animal, human, whatever? Or are they interdimensional? I mean, who knows?
I wonder if they can be interdimensional, because I was when I was at Bachelors Grove with Chris, we're walking down this trail that I never been down, and all of a sudden I'm hearing tree knocking, and he goes, is somebody chopping trees? I said, we're a forest preserve. You can't chop trees. And I wish he would do his editorial for his video afterwards, but he's talking. Lady and gentlemen, there's tree knocking. I go, shut up. And so I'm trying to find something to knock back, but I couldn't find anything. And I kept knocking. And because he's the country gentleman, he wears a suit and tie when he does his documentary. So I had on a dress. Otherwise, I would have climbed into the weeds, going down the side and looking to see what this was. But we kept hearing the tree knocking, and then finally, I says, "Who's there?" And then it stopped. I go, "Darn, okay." So we kept walking down to the end of the trail. And when we got to the end of the trail, there was a tree structure right there at the end of the trail. I says, "Well, isn't that interesting?" So
Mm-hmm.
then on the way back, we got to that same spot, and there's that tree knocking again.
Ooh.
And I'm not saying anything this time. I'm just waiting. If you listen to the video over us talking, you can still hear a little bit of the tree knocking. And on the other side of us, there was a creek, and then you cross the creek and there's another trail. Well, the creek bed was dry at that time. And all of a sudden, something walked between us and across the creek. And you couldn't see it, but you could smell really bad. And there was no smell from the creek because it's been dry.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm saying, can it cloak? Did it go to another dimension as it was
Mm-hmm.
going past us?
Right. Right. Yeah, something's up because, people see them oftentimes. They're there and then they're not.
Right.
Even the footprints.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen where they'll follow footprints and then
And then
all of
it's
a
gone.
sudden they're gone.
Yeah.
Where did they go?
Right.
Did they vanish? Or did they go back to a different dimension or another planet? Or,
Right.
So yeah, it's very intriguing to say the least. But it's interesting that many people that are become interested in one, also become interested in the other. It's almost like they go hand in hand somehow. Because I know very few people. It used to be, and Cheryl, you probably remember, you had your ghost people, your UFO people, and your crypt people, and none of them hung out. Never, there was a big, almost hatred between them. And now it's like the paranormal has come together for many of us, anyways, where it's all paranormal. So if you have the interest in one, like being a medium all your life and then getting into the whole ghost hunting stuff, and then you have a UFO experience and become, very deep into this field, don't you think there has to be a reason for that?
I think so. And I just always been interested in interdimensional.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. Well, of course, this thing from the ranch, that was definitely interdimensional.
Right.
I didn't feel it was a spirit. I didn't feel it was a human.
Mm-hmm. So what do you feel with skinwalkers, since we're talking about the ranch? I mean, have you heard reports of people literally seeing skinwalkers anymore? Or
Well, I'm sure they're around. A skinwalker is just a medicine man that is doing black magic. That's what a skinwalker is.
okay, so it's a living human. It's not like a
Well, he's
cryptid.
able to turn himself into animals and make you see things like what is the thing you're most afraid of, and it makes you see that. I don't know if you ever saw the show Dark Winds.
No.
The very first season, they had a skinwalker. I'm watching a skinwalker on TV. And it was a Navajo woman.
And that's Dark Winds. See, now I have to write it down because I have to.
Yes, the new season is coming out March 9th.
Oh, okay.
So this will be season 3. It's good.
Oh, so we've gone through 2 seasons. So Deb needs to. Yeah, it's hard to get me sitting in one place for too long. When I had COVID, I made it through 5 seasons of The Handmaid's Tale.
Because this is set on the Navajo Nation.
Okay, sounds interesting.
The sheriff and a deputy, that's them running the whole place.
Mm-hmm.
With all kinds of strange things happen.
Okay. So yeah, I'm interested. What is a skinwalker? I've always been under the impression that it's yes, a shapeshifter, but interdimensional or not a human being.
That's I
Does
said
that make
that
sense?
these shaman they can shapeshift.
Hmm.
They're doing this dark magic.
So okay.
Yeah. And
So
that's what the woman on the show was. She was so scary. She was so darn scary. And yeah, and she could just stare at you and you'd be frozen.
hmm
And she'd have to get a piece of your hair. And if she got a piece of your hair, then she could do some spell and kill you. It was really scary,
hmm
but it was really things that happen.
Yikes.
It's based on Tony Hillerman's books.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. And are there still reports of skinwalkers on Skinwalker Ranch? I know a lot of other stuff goes on.
I know I have a friend that he has a ranch next door, and he saw something that he said was a skinwalker.
Okay. Okay.
And the same thing, it made him like almost paralyzed, didn't know where he was.
hmm So when it comes to like the cattle mutilation and all that stuff that happens there, do you feel that is directly from the UFO
I
or
don't know. I'm still
EMPs?
jury's still out about that one.
Okay.
Some of it could be, some of it's us.
Okay.
I think it's a little both.
Yeah. I've been curious about that. And since you kind of have an in and have written some books, I thought, maybe Cheryl will know. But,
I don't think Linda Mutenhow even knows. That's her big baby there.
yeah,
Calculations.
yeah, she's amazing. But that's something, you have to wonder. Things like this happen around the world. And, it's always been ETs get a really bad rap for it.
Mhm.
But is it them?
Well, I just think what's really strange is here in the Midwest, we have lots of cattle, don't we? We had a lot of cattle when I lived in Illinois. We didn't have any
Right.
mutilations.
Right.
Why is it out west?
hmm Well, I mean, it does happen other places, but it happens a lot out there.
Yeah, I've
And
never heard of it happening in Illinois.
why?
I lived there. Never,
hmm
I remember, I don't know how long, 20 years ago when we went to Colorado, and this is the first time I heard about it. And we're in a hotel and we turned the TV on and the news was there, and it was right there on the news 20 years ago talking about cattle mutilations in Colorado.
Oh.
And that's the first time I saw that, and there it was just on the local news.
hmm Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think that there's any, like proof that it wasn't done by humans or other animals.
Well, you never see any blood there.
Right.
And if you do see a cattle mutilation, the scavengers will not come and eat it.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I knew
They'll
that.
leave it. They won't touch it. So why is that?
Yeah.
You got some good meat sitting there. They don't touch it.
hmm Yeah. And I'm sure they've done readings on them to see, if there's been any magnetic or anything. So Bill is letting me know we're down to 5 minutes. So anything that you want to share with our audience about your newest books, about things coming up, any of that, where can they get your books and how can
My books are on Amazon.
Mhm.
Or if you want a signed copy, you can just message me on Facebook. I have a whole bunch here. I can mail it out.
Okay. And you're under Cheryl Lynn Carter, that I know, on Facebook. So it's pretty easy to get in contact with you. And do you take cases on your own? Do you investigate it all? If somebody had something they wanted looked into, but they really didn't want to do a whole UFO or a MUFON report. Is that
Well, I'm not an actual field investigator, but I know people that are, or they could investigate. I've been studying. I got the book to study to be one. If I ever finish reading the book and take the test,
I did it, but I still, I just do my own thing. So
you did the test and everything.
Oh yeah. I got all the certificates and that. So, But I don't do the work with MUFON. So, but I do it. So anyway, I didn't know if you did that or not. If if you
Not yet. I'd like to do.
contacting you.
Yeah, I'd like to do. Yeah.
It seems like once people know, oh, this person, has been through it as well, and they might know where to hook me up, or they might have some answers. Experiencers really just need places to go, people they can trust to talk to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Work
That's
very
like
well.
when I was talking about this code thing. I was at a MUFON meeting, and somebody said my wife had this happen.
Mhm.
So then at first I thought I was just crazy. Did I just make all this up? No, my wife got the code too. I says, well, what does it mean? I don't know. Yeah, so we both got the code.
Right. And it's important that people can talk about that. So,
Yeah.
if she got the code and you got the code, maybe, you two need to hook up and
No, she's
do
passed
some
away.
work together.
No, she's passed away now. We'll never know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you got the code as well.
Yeah, but what does it mean?
Sometimes maybe we're not even supposed to know.
But what is the point of telling? But what is the point of telling me?
Yeah.
Just to have it. But
It seems like, I don't know.
There's got to
But
be a
it's,
purpose.
yeah. It seems like with downloads like that, they just come out when they're supposed to come out. Like all of a sudden you will know the code, or you will know what to do with that code.
Yeah.
And your brain doesn't hold that information, but
That's
it's there in your subconscious.
So I says, am I supposed to take my code and this rock to the ranch and then something's going to happen? I don't know.
And if you feel it, go for it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Nothing happens.
I mean, it's just something I'm supposed to tell them, or I don't know.
Right. Oh, it's also interesting, but I'm really glad you agreed to come on tonight, Cheryl. I wish you all the best with your newer book coming out and the Chosen that has come out. I think it's wonderful that you continue to do the work and to help experiencers. You're very needed. And I'm excited that you're coming to Michigan UFO Contact.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'll be doing a PowerPoint on the book. So,
woo, awesome. Well, thank you again for being on. You take care of yourself, and we will talk real soon.
Tell AJ
everybody
better.
Oh yeah. Everybody know, come in September and meet Cheryl in person. Get one of her books signed personally by her, or all of her books. You all have a great week, and until we meet again, may all of your awakenings be mystical. Love you. Good night.